So here's like, I got goosebumps right now because I'm going to share something with you guys, and just you guys, because you're here. Like, I could be looking at this two different ways, and so can you. You could be like, man, why didn't I take the day off? Or you could celebrate and say, I'm going to go get mine, because everybody's sleeping. Everybody's sleeping on this opportunity, because there are people out there, they have needs, not wants. And the people that aren't on this call right now, they want some comfort. They want some freedom. They want some flexibility. And they're ignoring the people that need help, that need support. They're going to say, hey, enjoy your barbecue. You've got from 4 to 6 p.m. But I got to get me this house. I got to move. We got boxes. We got vans. We got things to do. I need you. Brad Knaus. Paula Yossi, who's about to cap in like 6 weeks.
Oh, I don't know.
Records had like 7 closings in June. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. Hey, Conversations that Convert, Freedom Edition. America. I'm going to share with you 3 tactics today that are going to absolutely unlock freedom in your life if you choose. Before we do that, though, let's do like we always do. Share with me some wins, some gratitude, some ahas, and I'll go first. Number 1, I'm grateful for the freedom to build my own business with people like you. I get to choose who I'm in business with. I get to choose who I work with. I get to choose my clients. I get to choose the topics. I get to choose. It's all on me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I am unemployable.
Well, I'll go. I think I'm off mute. I'm afraid to put it on mute, because then I won't be able to get it off mute when I need it off.
Paula, one of these days we'll figure this tech out. We'll figure this out.
I'm just so challenged.
Paula's too busy closing to figure out the mute button. That's okay. We'll figure this out.
I do. I do have quite a few closings coming up, finishing out June, excuse me. And it's been exciting. I did close that $47,500 listing on Thursday, and I've never been so.
Now you can retire.
I mean, man, I just made bank. It's just crazy. No, actually, I got some buyers into a house that they never imagined that they would be homeowners. They've been renting for 11 years and just have that consistent, steady, not a gross amount of income, but it's just consistent and it's steady, and they had good credit, and I had the listing, and so obviously dual agency is illegal in the state of Kansas, but I made sure that their game was played extremely fair, and they stood there. My seller was just a piece of work, but they stood there and said, thank you so much for fighting so hard for us. And that made $1.35 an hour so worth it.
Well, you know what? What's interesting is, like, for them it was everything.
Absolutely.
Right?
They were so excited to move into that dump. I mean, it's a dump. They're going to clean. They're just so excited. Oh my gosh.
Now it's theirs. It's theirs. They get to now polish it up, make it theirs.
Yeah. Makes me teary. I'm excited for them.
I love that part of this. I love that part. Good for you. Thanks for sharing that. That makes me fired up. Who's next? What other win? Attitudes you got? Danny, I'm about to require you change that thumbnail. Every time I feel so judged.
It's not that bad. Come on now.
It's like I feel like I said something you just don't agree with.
It's like saying, dude, are you for real? Let's go.
For real? Come on. Who's next? Other gratitudes wins for this weekend. Yeah, Brad.
I got a couple. Hopefully I get a closing this Friday, which will be my second in my mentorship. So one step closer to getting out of going through that. On Saturday, met with the couple that I met at your open house a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna be their agent. They actually said like, they've met with multiple agents, and the reason that I was sitting at their table to talk with them is because I was basically nurturing them, and I was sending them information and sort of talking to them while other agents weren't. Other agents came in there and were sort of like, yeah, I'll sell your house. We'll go for this much. And they felt that the other agents were sort of just in it for the money. So pretty pumped about that. They're looking for some pretty expensive homes in the Overland Park area. What was my third one? Oh, I have a possible job opportunity where I'd go into real estate full time. I might leave my 9-to-5 job. We're still working out a lot of details, but that was exciting. That came up at the end of last week. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff going around in my head. So
I was gonna say, like, I'm not surprised. I hope you're not surprised, because I saw this play out from day one.
I'm a little surprised, but thank you. I appreciate your confidence in me.
No, it's just like I planned it. Nice work, bro. Nice work. Anyone else? Other gratitudes, wins, ahas, and we're gonna jump in.
Man, I got a couple.
Yes, dude, bring it, Marcus.
I've got my second rental I'm working on. It's going really quick, so that's good. First one was rough. I've got I close on a flip property this week. And then I've also got a buyer under contract yesterday. It's our third offer we put in on a property, and we got this one. Nice. Good things going on. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Listen, you know what? It's a blessing that you had a rough one on your first one, because it makes the others easy. It's not, the second one's not going quick. It's just going the way it's supposed to go, because you already, encountered all the roadblocks, obstacles, all the things. So nice work, man. Blake was polite, had his hand up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now.
Sweet. This is kind of macro, but I really just want to identify and put it out there that I personally am refreshed and recharged and reinvigorated for this new season of growth. And so I'm really excited about it. And so, yeah, I wanted to share that. So
yeah, there's an electricity.
Yes.
There's a like a prickling in the hair. Like, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but there is a disturbance in the force in a good way. Brian, I'm talking to you. That things are about to happen, brother. Things are happening. I'm fired up. I am fired up. And there's this audio on TikTok, like, when you can do like reels and stuff, and you can have the audios in the background. There's this one that I just want to put on the back of like all of my videos, and it's this lady that just says, "Woo! You gotta be sick of me. You gotta be sick of me. You're gonna be sick of me." Like, I'm coming. I'm coming for mine. And you're either on board or you're gonna be sick of me. Here we go. Anyone else? Who's next? All right. So today's conversation is going to be a part like notes, part like exercise, part conversation as well. So what I'd like for you to consider and think about or have top of mind right now is what is a stretch goal for yourself this year that if you were to hit it would just kind of really blow your mind? like, I know you guys have a goal for yourself this year, but what is a stretch goal this year that if you hit it would just literally blow your mind? Maybe it's income, maybe it's units, maybe it's organizational, like team size, whatever it is for you. Like, what is, like, whatever your goal was for this year, what is a goal beyond that if you hit it would literally blow your mind? Think on that. And as you're thinking about a stretch goal, we call it a stretch goal because the stretch causes discomfort. The stretch is outside of our norm. The stretch requires us to become a new or a different version of ourselves in order to hit it. That's why we call it a stretch goal. And I'd like for you to consider, before we get into the topic today, what is the number one factor that may be holding you back, or what is the number one factor, or what's the number one way that you would need to evolve, or who would you need to become in order to hit that goal? Think about it, and then I'm going to start giving you a cheat code on it, because it's probably in one of the three categories that we're going to discuss today. And my intention for this call is I'd like for us to discuss these three categories, and then we're going to develop and create a framework of how you can tackle this on your own moving forward, and how you can help others in your world in the same capacity. So if you've got a team, it's going to help you lead the team. If you don't have a team, it's going to help you lead yourself when we're not on this call. Cool? I'd love to hear who's courageous enough to speak into existence what that stretch goal is. Yeah, Blake.
30 frontline qualifying agents.
30 FLQA. So where are you right now?
20.
So that would be 10 more FLQAs. That's 10 more qualifying agents. Do you know approximately how many FLAs would require you to get to 10 FLQAs?
45.
And where are you at currently? What's the gap?
35.
So you're saying the 10 that you would get would be qualifying right away? So it's, or do you need to get like 12 or 15 to ensure that 10 are qualifying? Do you have anybody who fall, drop off?
Yeah, I roll in between 20 and 25, right? And
so in order for you to hit the 30 FLQAs, you're thinking you only need 10 more.
Yeah.
Does that make, like, well, what would make you uncomfortable? Because between, like, 10 more sounds pretty reasonable for someone like you. Because if you get to 30, is it ever going to bump off of 30? Like, what's the way that you can guarantee that you'll always be at 30?
35.
I like that. That has a different energy to it. Did you feel it?
Yep.
Did it make you hiccup a little bit? Did you swallow? Yeah. Like I swallowed, like, ugh. Like, you know your goal is good if you go, okay. All right, I said it. Ugh. Okay, so in order to get to 35, we got to add how many?
45 total.
45 total, so we got to get another 15.
Yep.
Okay, love that. Love that. That's a great goal. I like that goal.
So would you be so kind as to define for me what a qualifying FLQA is, since I'm relatively new still to EXP?
A qualifying agent is an agent that's done a transaction of at least $5,000 in commission on your front line.
Thank you.
Or is it two transactions or one of at least $5,000 in commission? Like
every 6 months. Every 6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll share another one.
All right, Blake. Thanks for doing the heavy lifting today.
15 more rental properties by the end of, or 15 more investment opportunities by the end of the year.
Awesome. Awesome. Man, love this. Now we're talking about big things on today's call.
I'll just put my other big one out there too. 1 million personal net revenue by the end of the year.
1 million in net revenue by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Awesome. So I'm going to share with you the 3 most common limiting factors for most entrepreneurs when it comes to hitting or achieving anything. First one, number 1 is skills. It's skills. The second one, and then we're going to go through each one of these, we're going to categorize them, and then we're going to talk about ways to overcome and manage them. The second one is character traits or behavior. And the third one is beliefs, programming. So when it comes to achieving or hitting any goal, especially any big goals, stretch goals, there are 3 things that we're generally overcoming. Number 1, there's a skill gap. There's a character trait or a behavior gap. And number 3, there's a belief gap. Let's tackle number 1. So number 1, skills. What is skills? If there's a goal, and the biggest excuse that comes out is like, well, I don't know how. Like, I don't know where to start. How, what? Those are the questions you ask yourself a lot. How does somebody even do that? What do they do with what tools, right? So like you're talking about learning. And when we talk about gaining competency in any area, we do it in 3 ways. We talked about this at Unbreakable 2023. Competency has 3 steps. The first step when building a new skill or building competency is learning and studying. So number 1, there's resources everywhere. There's YouTube, there's channels, there's courses. There's so many places that you can go and find the information of people that are achieving or doing what you'd like to do or who you'd like to become. The second level of skill building is finding people that are doing it and then shadowing. Getting behind the curtain, mentoring. There is a knowledge debt that has to be paid when learning a new skill. It's mentoring, it's shadowing. You're paying for the experience and the expertise of somebody who's done the bumps, that's eliminated those things. And then the third is doing, right? Taking action before you think you're ready. It's doing with supervision, right? So in order to gain the skill or the competency, we've got to find the information, learn, study, read, all of those things. We've got to shadow, and then we have to do. That's how we gain skill, right? Number 2 is the one that we've got to here's what's interesting. Everybody on this page, everybody on this call, everyone has their own version of this, and it's character traits and behavior. And this is where personality is personal. Our goal is going to require a version of us that's not natural or that we're not wired for. And so oftentimes, for instance, for myself, because I'm so move forward, take action when not ready, and I'm so optimistic. So this is where your strengths are also your weaknesses. My independence, my hustle, my drive, my determination, my optimism creates a lot of mistakes, creates a lot of inefficiencies, creates a lot of gaps, creates a lot of risk, and also creates a lot of I resist leverage because I just want to do it myself. I want to do it faster. And if I have to slow down and tell somebody what to do, then I'm just wasting time and money. And what it does is it traps me at my level. And in order for me to get to the next level, there's no way I can go by myself and do it all. But my behavior, my character trait is the limiting factor. So I have to learn to lead. I have to learn to train and teach. I have to learn to identify the risks, to black hat it, right? To bring in people to go, hey, this is a really great idea. Have you thought about this? What if this goes wrong? I know you said it's gonna work. I know you said trust you. I know you're like, I'll figure it out. But like, what if you don't figure it out? What if this goes wrong and this goes wrong all at the same time? Have you thought of that? And I'm like, no. Right? So that's character trait behavior limitations. And so, for instance, some of you may also be on the opposite spectrum. You're extremely detailed, very competent. You never make a mistake. You're very precise. You can plan everything. You've thought of every contingency, which means you've never moved forward. You never take action because you've thought of all the ways it could go wrong, and you've never bet on yourself and believed it could go right. And so opportunity. And here you are, looking at the 45 opportunities that have passed you. And dumbass individuals are out there slaying it, but you're so freaking smart, you're stuck at step 1. When dumbasses are crushing it. Hey, but you're accurate. And you've thought of all the ways it could go wrong. And you're right. Except there's so many ways it could go right that you're ignoring because all you can think about is the wrong side of the column. So how do you break it? You gotta have somebody that pulls you through and says, hey, you're well beyond ready. Next step. Move forward. I know it's uncomfortable. Take the next step. I know you're not ready. I know it seems reckless. I know it seems risky. It's not risky. You're still thinking on that side of the equation. Next step. You've got savings. You can weather 19 mistakes right now. Go. Your 60% ready is everyone's 150%. Go. Right? And so there's all the different types of behavior. So the behavioral gap can also be a limiting thing. And then the third is beliefs. It's the beliefs gap. It's the programming gap. It's the thought gap. And a belief, again, to reiterate, a belief is simply a thought on repeat. It's simply a thought on repeat. And it may stem from how you grew up. It may stem from just one interaction that was very emotional for you. Right? Like there's a story that one of my mentors shared with me of a young girl who loved to sing as a young kid, but her mom, it was a single mom, worked several jobs, came home and was just needed a second, just needed to like have some quiet. And the daughter was singing and the mom just out of one little moment of frustration just said, please, will you just shut up and stop singing? You're just, my head is killing me. That one moment. All that child heard was, oh, if I sing, it hurts, it causes people pain. And she never sang again until adulthood, where somebody encouraged her to get up at karaoke. And she absolutely blew the place away. And everybody in there was like, you have the most beautiful voice ever. And she's like, no, I don't. My voice hurts people. Her whole life, because that one moment, that was what she believed. It was programming. It wasn't true. However, somebody else's words in a moment created a belief that held her back, that actually kept her song from the world. So what song are you holding inside because somebody at some point once told you you're never going to make it? You're never going to do this. You're not from here. You don't belong in here. You're too new. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too this. You're too that. Whatever that is. Our beliefs are the other limiting factor that holds us back. So how do we change those beliefs? You have to change your programming. We got to be around other people that are doing it, that are breathing and pouring into you in new and positive and empowering ways. Being in groups that are committed to lifting and raising each other up. To be in environments where no one's talking down. Everyone's coaching up. And they're willing to hold you accountable to what you're able and capable of doing. And it's a whole different way than holding you down because of their own scarcity and limiting beliefs and feelings, right? There's a lot of people in our lives that are so well-meaning and well-caring, and yet what they do unknowingly is they hold you back, because by your succeeding, it highlights them never wanting to take a, that's the power of the belief gap. So when we go back to the goal that you had outlined for yourself earlier on this call, which one of the three is the biggest gap for you to hit that stretch goal? Is it a skill issue, or do you know what to do? You just don't do it consistently enough because that's a character trait, because you like variety and you like to move fast and you like to solve problems, and that makes you feel valid. So you're not willing to sit and do the boredom of the activity that's going to create the biggest result. That's me. That's my challenge behaviorally. I always say that I'm like, oh man, I really love change. I love yada, yada, yada. And what that does is that it allows me to like attack a lot of things, but like I never truly get to develop mastery in one area because I'm so excited to take on the new thing. That the only time I actually truly achieve any kind of mastery is when I've really become okay with the boredom of what success looks like. The repetition, right? Or is it a belief thing? I'm too new. I don't do tech. I don't like talking. People don't like to hear from me. Nobody wants to get a call. Nobody wants. Quit being a super smart ass and paralyze yourselves. Be a dumbass. Yeah, there you go. There's the caption for today. If you want to win, start being a dumbass. Go ahead and post that on your social. Just got off the best call today, encouraging us all to stop being smart asses and just start really embracing your inner dumbass. You want to win today? Be a dumbass. Join us on the next call. Best advertisement ever. So what is your gap? What's your gap? What's your biggest limiting factor? And how do you plan on tackling it? What are your ahas, takeaways from today's call? I know we're right at time. What'd you hear today?
Well, Matt, I heard you telling the whole group all of my problems. No, I'm mostly joking. I wish I would have heard all of this like 20 years ago, though, because it took me a really long time to build up the belief to get to where I'm at now, where I need to work on the skills to be able to accomplish my dreams. And that's the part that I'm working on. I had already gone through that belief struggle, and it was hard. It took way too long, but
Brian, here's the thing. I'm going to share this with you, and I think everyone's going to nod when I say this. I didn't just outline your inner struggles. I talked to everybody on this call very directly. I know that what I talked about today resonated because it resonated with me, because we all have it. Everyone's got a different level, version, like flavor of what I just talked about. And yeah, here's the thing. Somebody did talk to me about this 20 years ago. I wasn't ready to hear it. Like, until you're ready to receive it, the thing is that like the message, it truly is, until you're ready, you're not going to hear it. Like, here's the thing. Here's the beauty of it. There's time. There's plenty of time. None of us are out of this game. Like, amazing things can happen very, very quickly if we choose. Anyone else?
I think for me, you can do that in reverse. You can do number 3. You can identify what is your belief that's limiting you. And then you can determine in that belief, what's the behavior that's keeping you from acquiring the skill that you need. Because I can identify something in each one of those levels. And, you know, as I was sitting here trying to determine, well, what's the skill that I need? I'm like, well, I got to determine what that belief is that's keeping me from getting that skill. I mean, this just gave me a roadmap for determining how in the world I'm going to move forward. I've got to identify what that belief is that's holding me back. and then the behavior that I exhibit in that limiting belief, and then what's the skill that I need in order to crush both of those out of my life and move forward.
There you go. And that's the goal, is to give you a framework for you to be able to succeed on your own. Because the true definition of leadership is this: it's teaching people how to think so they can get what they want when they want it. That's it. That's it. It's not to create followers. It's not to make sure that you've got to get on this call and have the answers for you. It's to give you the framework and the tools for you to be able to solve these things on your own. That's my goal for you on these calls, to give you that. Thanks for sharing that. All right, guys. Have an amazing day. If you've set aside some time for your family and your freedom tomorrow, I want to make sure everybody gets back here with the same amount of fingers and toes. Be safe. Eat well. Blake, have that cake. You deserve it. You deserve it, man.
You too, buddy.
Just go deep on those ribs.
Guy, you're doing so great. Just treat yourself, bud.
You got this, Blake. You've earned it. All right, guys. We'll see you Wednesday on another conversation that converts. Later.